Welcome back to Teshkid Effects for another price prediction update, and in this video I'll be giving you a price prediction update on Quant, whose current price stands at the $119.2 mark, and here on TradingView the market is down by 2.45%. And in this video I want to give you the short-term and the long-term scenarios that I expect to play out, basing my analysis on the Elliot structures and the Fibonacci's. And allow me to kickstart the video here on the daily chart by giving you a brief of what has been happening here on the Quant chart. So Quant, from the all-time high, we had been seeing no prices in this massive ABC corrective structure, which took us back to around the $40.1 mark. And after seeing that low, we have been seeing a very nice bounce to the upper side in a movement that has been obeying the Elliot structures, and that is better seen here on the 4-hour chart. Here on the 4-hour chart, you can see I have this Elliot structure in blue, which represents a fractal wave to the upper side within the formation of that high Elliot wave count 1 to the upper side, where the wave 5 made our high at around the $229 mark, completing the formation of that high Elliot wave count 1 to the upper side. And after seeing the high for that high Elliot wave count 1, whatever we expect next is a bit of a retracement to the lower side in the formation of a second wave, that is a higher Elliot wave count 2, and that is what you have been seeing over here, making our low in the formation of that high Elliot wave count 2 at around the $94.4 mark. And now my primary scenario is that we're in the formation of that high Elliot wave count 3 to the upper side, and sketching out a minimum target area to the upper side in the formation of this higher Elliot wave count 3 using a trend-based Fibonacci, connecting it from the low of the first wave down there to the high of the wave 1, then dragging the fibs to the low of the second wave. That gives me a minimum target area to the upper side at the fib level 1.618, and that perfectly lies at around the $400.6 mark, and that is the minimum that I would expect Quant to do in the next bull market. And once we see that impulsive movement to the upper side in the formation of that higher Elliot wave count 3, and jumping to the 1-hour chart for further analysis. Here on the 1-hour chart, you can see after making our low in the formation of that high Elliot wave count 2 at around the $94.4 mark, we have been seeing a very nice bounce to the upper side in a movement that has been obeying the Elliot wave structures, where I believe this is a first wave, then a second wave, then I'm expecting a wave 3, then a wave 4, and then a wave 5 to complete a higher Elliot wave count 1 to the upper side, which is a fractal wave within that higher Elliot wave count 3 that I have shown you on the 4-hour chart. And getting a little bit into the details of the formation of this Elliot wave structure, and also draw out a chart pattern that is in formation over here. And I'll start by giving you the chart pattern, which is an inverse head and shoulders pattern. And if I draw it out, we can have this as the left shoulder of that head and shoulders pattern. Then we have seen the head, then we have seen the formation of the neckline, then we have seen the right shoulder and seen a bit of a breakout to the upper side. And after seeing the breakout, once we finished off the formation of the right shoulder, I believe whatever we have been seeing over here in this movement right here is a retest of the neckline, because you can see we saw a bit of a breakout, then saw a bit of a pullback back to the area of the neckline. Then I'm expecting another bounce to the upper side so that it can give us a breakout to the upper side. And this is a chart pattern that gives us a breakout to the upper side, having the target area of the breakout as the height between the neckline and the head, so I can get that height and then place it above the neckline, giving me a minimum target area back to around the $146.7 mark. And that is the minimum that I would expect Quant to do once we manage to break out of this inverse head and shoulders pattern to the upper side. And also sketching out a minimum target area to the upper side in the formation of this wave 3 right here using a trend-based Fibonacci, connecting it from the low of the first wave to the high of that wave 1, then dragging the fibs to the low of the second wave. That gives me a minimum target area back to the fib level 1.618, and that is at around the $151.5 mark, and that is the minimum that I would expect that wave 3 to the upper side to do. And you can see that the Elliot wave structure and also this inverse head and shoulders pattern are giving us a nice bullish movement to the upper side. But from what you are seeing here on the Quant chart, there are chances that we might continue pushing even lower, and there are chances that we might invalidate this inverse head and shoulders pattern in case we continue pushing lower. And in case Quant continues to push even lower and don't give us a breakout out of this inverse head and shoulders pattern, then my next target area will be at around the $110.9 mark, because that is my next key area of support. And once we get to that key area of support, we can either find support and then see a very nice bounce to the upper side. And in case we lose the key area of support at around the $110 mark, then I think the worst case scenario for Quant might be playing out, because my next target area will be at around the $100 mark, because because that is where we have our next key area of support, and at that point that will be a key decision point, because if we lose that key area of support, then there are chances of making a new low over here, and in case that plays out, then I'll have to term all these structures over here as a massive ABC corrective structure, and that movement to the lower side is a higher Elliot wave count 2 to the lower side. So let's be patient and see how that plays out. Also taking a look at the indicators here on the RSI, we are trading at around the 28 mark, meaning we have managed to get into the oversold region, and we cannot support any movements to the lower side anymore, and we have massive room for us to support any movements to the upper side here on the Quant chart. Also taking a look at the MACD, here on the MACD, that is on the 1 hour MACD, we have printed a bearish cross, and we are seeing a bit of an increase in the selling momentum. So let's be patient and see how that plays out, and I'll keep you updated.